Alex is on top of Sergey, having the most steamy session in bed, as she knows how to please him. However, it is not all just physical, because the tenderness in both their movements and their desire to climax together shows that this is an act of love for them. Their bodies cling to each other as they try to finish each other off, all while Sergey keeps checking on Alex to see if she's okay. Sergey later puts his ear to Alex's tummy and jokes that he can hear his going up in her body and transforming into a living creature. They both talk about how beautiful their kids will be and what features they will inherit from their parents. It seems like Sergey knows Alex really well and loves every part of her. They see a beautiful future with each other and are protective of the family they haven't even started together yet. Alex knows Sergey like the back of her hand too, and has a strong idea about what type of father he will be. Sergey is like a lost puppy in her love, staring into her eyes and kissing her between every sentence they say. They get to discussing names for their future children as Sergey rolls over in bed, while Alex steps out of bed, putting on her underwear. Sergey buries his head in the pillows when Alex opens the windows, letting loads of sunlight in. She passes a smile to Sergey while brushing her teeth, and goes into the kitchen to make coffee for the both of them. Sergey follows, and they both coexist blissfully in their naughty little heaven. Sergey is still in the kitchen when Alex sits down at her desk and starts working on her laptop. She opens a page that strips her face of the serene, sleepy look it had, and it's now replaced by shock and disbelief. This is followed by a proud and victorious smile that she strategically conceals and replaces with confusion and despair as she falls on the bed, clutching onto her stomach anxiously when Sergey comes to her to remind her about the coffee. He's fresh out of the shower, so Alex helps dry him while he asks her what's wrong, full of concern. Alex shares that she just got an offer of a residency for her photography, which is quite an achievement. But it's all the way in the USA, in Los Angeles, and is also a year-long commitment. Sergey takes the news calmly and asks her more questions, like when it will start, what it's for, and the costs involved. He sees how great of an opportunity this is, so he congratulates her and gives her an affectionate kiss to show his approval. However, his face drops when she walks out of the room, relieved. He grabs his pants and puts them on, questioning Alex about why she never mentioned this before, and nudges her to open up. So she reveals that her curator Marta submitted her name for this project some time ago, so she'd known about this for a while. This was months ago, and yet she didn't say anything to Sergey, but she clarifies that she didn't feel the need to do so, because it was a long shot. Sergey stays quiet and continues eating his breakfast indifferently, so Alex addresses the matter head-on, suggesting that they can think over this together, because she'd obviously take his opinion into consideration as well. Sergey already knows that she wants to go. Alex elaborates that she enjoys doing what she likes for a living, which isn't possible in Spain, and will be even more difficult when they won't have any free time, if they have a kid together. Sergey is offended by how quickly their reality has switched because of something Alex hid from him. Alex points out that her career is a mess there, and all their friends have moved abroad for a better lifestyle. Sergey argues that those people weren't expecting a child together. Alex doesn't want to be stuck giving English classes here forever, but Sergey makes it clear that he didn't ask her to work. Other than that, there's the issue of his students, as he can't leave them in the middle of the year, and would have to stay until board exams. That would mean that what Alex actually requires is not for him to accompany her to Los Angeles, but to let her go there for a year while he stays back home for his own job. And once the school year is complete, he can move in with her, or she can come back to him. Alex stays in deep thought while sipping on juice, as Sergey gets ready for work and kisses her goodbye. As he's about to leave, he doubts their decision to have a baby, and says that they can think it over. Alex stops him, trying to explain that she just wants to give this a chance without it affecting their relationship. She doesn't want to be away from him either, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so she has to take it. The defeated look on Sergey's face as he walks back inside the house and sits down causes Alex to comfort and reassure him that she's not going anywhere. She hands him a glass of juice, and he has breakfast with her. She is quietly putting some butter on her toast when Sergey steals glances at her, trying to guess what is going on in her mind. He apologizes to her for acting the way he did earlier, and expresses that it is in her best interest to go, so she should go. Alex responds that she doesn't want to anymore, but Sergey goes on that she should pursue her passion without him holding her back. They've been together for 7 years without having a kid, so one more year wouldn't hurt. He'd like to visit her after he takes the boards, and they can go on a road trip together, where he'll impregnate her, just in time for their baby to be born when she comes back home. He'll even learn English, and promises her that when she comes back after doing this project, her career will have a great boost. He has trust in the strength of their relationship, and puts on some music for them to get up on the bed and dance together. On her second day in Los Angeles, Alex shows her apartment and its surroundings to Sergey on FaceTime. Serge asks about her roommate, who she really doesn't know much about, but assumes that he is also passionate about art. She climbs up the stairs to show him her cactus, and gives him a virtual tour of her apartment, Sergey doesn't like how white and tiny her furniture is, as its compactness won't work in their favor when he comes to visit. Sergey jokes that she came all the way from London to Spain to escape carpeting, but now she is stuck back with it in America. Alex lies down on the carpet and poses sexily for Sergey, and he can't help but compliment her beauty as he stares longingly at her, the glare of his phone screen lighting up his face in the pitch-black dark of his apartment. Alex is wearing his shirt, which looks good and smells like him, and they laugh about what Alex expected and actually got in terms of her residence in Los Angeles. On day 5, Alex sits on the white couch of her apartment and eats a sandwich alone in silence. Bored, she puts it away and checks her computer. She opens up her suitcase and gets some books out of it, to arrange them on her shelf. The pile of books crumbles down and falls, and Alex feels as if the universe is mocking her. By day 26 of their long-distance relationship, Alex and Sergey are trying to give each other the illusion that they are sleeping together, as they both lie down in their own beds with their devices while their partner is on FaceTime, to recreate the effect of lying next to each other. They are both gazing into each other's eyes when Sergey has to hang up, because he has to wake up early in the morning tomorrow. Alex questions how he even manages to get up every day without her kicking him out of bed every morning. His answer that he uses alarm clocks, like everyone else, pains him while he is saying it to her. She tells him goodnight, and he wishes her a good morning, as she has just woken up and is about to start her day, while he is about to end it. She hangs up and he puts her laptop aside, trying to fall asleep, but still misses her. On day 33, Alex is folding her laundry while Sergey is on a video call with her. Alex is doing a thorough job with folding her pair of socks, so Sergey stops her from going overboard, as she does not need to spend so much time and energy on this. He mischievously judges her on her obsession with socks, so she slingshots her panties at the screen he's on, while he tries to dodge it from his seat 10 kilometers away. They keep doing their playful acts without a care in the world, having the best time with each other in the smallest of moments. It has been a month and 10 days, and Alex shows her neighborhood to Sergey through satellite images from Google Earth. She goes on about how sunny and private it is, and shows him some other places she frequently goes to, or has an interest in. She shows him a gas station, which was taken in an iconic picture that she wanted to recreate, but can no longer do so because the site has changed too much. Then she moves on to the famous Hollywood Boulevard, and zooms in on the images of the people there. They discuss how people's faces are creepily blurred on every satellite image, even those taken in Barcelona. On the 51st day, Alex wakes up with her face toward her laptop screen. She shuts it and puts it aside, breathing peacefully in the quiet morning, and thinking of what Sergey must be up to when it is nighttime in Spain. It has almost been 2 months since Alex has been in Los Angeles, and on Sergey's insistence she shows him around her kitchen, to prove that she has real food, but all he sees are some pots and pans and a jar of oats. He calls her out that she can't go on like this. He gives her a look of disapproval and disappointment, and seeks out what has been troubling her. Alex admits that sometimes she feels stupid and lost. Sergey reminds her that she is still new to this, and they can't go on like this by staying codependent and glued to their screens all the time, because it makes them feel like they're with each other. Alex should no longer stay in, and should go out to explore the city she moved so far away for. She should socialize and explore. Alex retaliates and shows Sergey the mirror, that he has also become a shut-in, and should enjoy his life as a single guy in her absence. On day 71, Sergey teaches Alex how to cook on FaceTime. He laughs when he finds out that people over there don't eat rabbits as a protein, but keep them as their pets. Alex follows his instructions as she cuts up the vegetables and adds herbs to her food. Sergey criticizes her for how large she has cut her onions, however she cannot invest more time into cooking, because she is expecting guests to arrive soon. She didn't start earlier because Sergey wasn't around then. She starts to freak out because her guests, Patrick and Lisa, are on their way already, so Sergey tries to relax her by making her laugh and walking her through the recipe step by step. On the 88th day, Alex shows Sergey pictures of different places that made her think of him. She took them on her camping trip with Patrick and Lisa, and this is the first time Sergey is hearing of it, even though they talk every day. He knew that she was going on a trip with her friends to take some photographs for her project, but she forgot to mention the camping part, which bothers him a little, but he doesn't let it show much. Sergey looks at some of the pictures Alex plans to use for her project. 3 days later, Sergey gets a call which instantly cheers him up. The person on the other side of the line is a real jokester and wants to meet up with Sergey, but he declines because he has to study for his board exams. This is very important for his career, as acing the boards will allow him to get permanent status as a teacher instead of being a substitute teacher. He refuses the invitation to go out because he has a lot of subjects to cover and he is already quite behind on his preparation. But he makes plans to have lunch with his friend on Monday after he is done with school. 2 days later, on day 93, Alex is editing the photographs she took on her trip through an editing software on her laptop. She starts a video chat with Sergey simultaneously and continues to edit, which puts the window with Sergey's face in the background. The face she once missed so desperately now lacks in precedence over her work. Sergey is describing his struggles, and Alex acts as if she's hearing and offering support, when her attention is actually on editing. Serge senses that she's busy and tries to let her do her thing, but Alex insists on keeping going. She distractedly informs him that she went to East Los Angeles with Lisa this weekend, where they ended up in a square called Placita Mariachi. She is still talking when Sergey mentions that he is calling someone to the screen to introduce them to Alex. Serge calls out for someone, and Alex brings his window back up again to see his dog Paco with him. Alex understands that Sergey's parents are visiting him, as they are Paco's custodians. She shows interest in saying hi to them, but he doesn't find it necessary. He makes her laugh, as always, after which she gets back to work and lets him go. On day 101, they're having a virtual candlelight dinner and raise toasts of red wine to each other. Sergey thinks that she'll be drunk for her meeting tomorrow, but Alex isn't so worried. They crave each other emotionally and physically, which reminds them of how intimate they used to be, as they were trying for a baby. All of that has been paused for a while now. Alex suggests that they should spice up their sex lives with online sessions with each other. Sergey feels weird about it in comparison to watching porn, which he considers to be healthy masturbation. But Alex initiates seducing him, leading him to have cyber sex with her. She takes off her dress and commands Sergey to do the same. Seeing each other's bare skin gets them both hot and heavy as they describe what they will do to each other when they'll get the chance. Sergey is able to satisfy Alex just with his words, and she proceeds to return the favor too. 5 days later, Sergey is watching the old videos of them together, and how he used to tease Alex when they went to the beach together. His smile dims as he realizes how long it has been since he last touched and felt her skin. It has been 110 days of them being apart, and Alex is doing her photo shoot for the project that is supposed to skyrocket her career. With the passage of time, Sergey starts struggling with performing even basic tasks and everyday chores, like making the bed he once used to share with Alex. To placate his emotions, he picks up his guitar after ages and calls Alex. He plays a nostalgic tune that they once danced to on a memorable date. Even though it is the middle of the day for him, he realizes it is late night in Los Angeles, and Alex is completely drunk. She is wearing a beautiful red dress and starts dancing, showing him salsa steps, but he is not in the mood to joke around at this moment. She doesn't realize that watching her like this only makes him miss her more. She is still busy in her goofiness when he brings up that his boards were yesterday. Looking at Sergey now is enough for her to assume that his boards went really badly. He wanted to talk about it yesterday, but she wasn't available then, and now he is no longer in the mood to discuss it. Alex feels bad now and apologizes, but it doesn't mean that much to Sergey, who can clearly see the differences in both their moods. The calls have now transformed into more of an obligation rather than an emotional necessity, as now they both don't even have any topics left to talk about on their video chats, unlike before when they used to run out of time, but not words they wanted to say to each other. Serge doesn't really have anything interesting to discuss, because his life is very monotonous. Alex complains that hearing this makes her obviously feel sorry for him, and she is irritated that he indirectly makes her feel guilty for being away. Hiding what is going on within her mind, she tries to change the subject from talking about their relationship to something else, but they both don't know what subject to discuss anymore. They never felt obliged to talk, like they do now with their fixed call sessions, so Alex suggests that they don't need to talk, and can only do so when they want to. Sergey is disappointed that she wants to withdraw more from him, instead of making efforts to reduce the distance between them, but he doesn't argue or voice his concerns. More days pass, as Sergey now spends his nights drinking in his apartment alone, while Alex sends him pictures of camouflaged antennas she is capturing early in the morning for her project. He leaves her text on read and opens another bottle of beer to drink. He pauses for a second and types out a message to Alex, asking where she is at the moment. She doesn't acknowledge his text, and sends him more pictures of stuff he's not interested in anymore. He points out that they set this time to talk to each other. The response he gets from Alex disheartens him even more, because she's running late and won't be able to make it after all. Sergey also checks Alex's Facebook profile, where she's posting about how much she loves Los Angeles, and is posting pictures with Lisa and Patrick. He views Patrick's profile, and then leaves a post on Alex's profile, after which he rolls a and smokes it. Sergey's days and nights are mostly empty. One day, he loses patience and snaps at Alex for abandoning him, as he throws away all her stuff, because it keeps reminding him of her while she's not present. Alex considers his frustration to be childish, but she doesn't understand that he has to face everyone's questions about her, and be constantly reminded of her absence. Alex breaks down into tears at his tantrum. There has been radio silence from Alex since then, and Sergey writes her an email trying to voice how he's feeling, when he gets a message from Alex, showing her collection of everything she has discovered and learned over the last few months. She misses him, but won't apologize for catering to her own yearnings. When they finally talk face-to-face on video chat, she recognizes that they're polar opposites, yet she is drawn to him, and they're good for each other. She doesn't always say it, but she actually really loves him. She feels bad for neglecting him earlier. He's in tears, and regrets not making her laugh enough too. Their hearts find their way back to each other and they make up, dancing with each other. They are looking up flights together so that Sergei can come to visit her in Los Angeles. They're trying to find a day that fits both of their schedules enough for him to arrive by the time of her opening, because he wants to see her in action. Sergei seems so calm in relation to how no one has offered to renew his contract. Alex suggests that he can come and move in with her, as they can live together on his grant. She provides solutions for all his confusion and concerns, and tries to convince him, even though they'll be left with nothing once they finally come back to Barcelona. Sergei suspects that Alex is hiding something, and when he confronts her, she finally reveals that she'll need to stay longer in Los Angeles for work, so she wants him to move in with her, instead of the other way round. Sergei is in tears when he argues that they had plans together that he doesn't want to uproot now, because he can't wait forever for her. He held up his end of the bargain and gave her a year, but she can't have it all, so she has to choose between him or her career. One day, Alex hears her doorbell ring, and when she swings the door open, Sergei is standing in front of her without any prior notice or contact. They both keep their eyes glued to each other as he comes in, after which they hug each other tightly, taking in each other's scent after 200 days. Sergei backs off and starts looking around her apartment while passing remarks. His actions and statements are enough to reflect that he is not here to move in with her, but only to see her. He still calls their apartment in Barcelona his home. As she heats up the soup she cooked herself, something else she longer needs him for, Sergei draws out a package for Alex. He checks out the photographs on her walls and asks her about her work. Alex, on the other hand, is still waiting for more pictures, after which she'll finally organize everything. Sergei is still jet-lagged from his long and tiring journey, and Alex tries to be a good host and gives him some food. Sergei's return flight is a month later, but he can leave earlier or later than that too. Alex pours herself a glass of whiskey, and there's an awkward silence between them, after which they get their rhythm back. She didn't expect him to come, and he didn't expect an anticlimactic welcome like this. They get drunk and start laughing. Tears well up in their eyes when Sergei questions where he went wrong. She grabs him and they get intimate while crying, their bodies, minds, and hearts getting reacquainted with each other. As they finally satisfy each and every inch of their being with passion, emotion, and love, it feels like the aching and suffering caused by the divide of 10,000 is finally closed. Recovering from their much-awaited yet dreaded reunion, they wipe off their tears and fall on the couch, defeated. They get dressed again and look at each other. The future is still unclear, but it doesn't bother them so much, now that they're in the same room together.